think this one guy said only. He said he was only against the ultra return, and he was part Jewish and he was part African, South African. There was a Jesus I've seen many times, and God the Father, and Moses was real, and Noah was real, and most of the Bible was real. I'm not that religious, though I will not let somebody bash religion, especially in the way that they bash Christianity. No way. No way. I publish all my visions on all the sites. I told them about my visions on thoughts.com. I gotta say that the way that you're talking, you don't have a right to talk to me that way. I'm very literate. Someone could say that Forrest Gump, when he grew up, got older, or maybe when he was 30. He must have an IQ of 160. 160. Boom. How did you put that together so quickly? So I don't have one of those. No. So, and he says God doesn't exist, and evolution, this and this and that. Creationism. Yes, there is evolution, and there's creationism. See, theists are not that smart. People believing that God are not smart. Fuck that. I proved everything. I am sane. Why would I waste my time? I did the visions, illustrations that I saw in church. Exact same illustrations of the visions, of the exact visions, and of the illustrations. And I took pictures of them, and I published them. I'm sane. I've been recovering. I'm sane. And even throughout the first few years or so, I wasn't crazy. No, I had to be careful. I used to be ADD, but not anymore. I'm 30. Saying that God is so much, am I? You're stupid. Now, even though I've seen Jesus many times, I would never forgive you. And that's why people don't want to sin, because maybe deep down, maybe there might be something, and maybe they would want to be saved, maybe. Or if this guy is that he might not want to be saved. I heard their element is just one element, which is we have this one place. So, or whatever. So maybe he wants to damn people. Because it said the dumb thing is that they wanted to know that he didn't exist. Because he showed himself too much, and now he doesn't want to exist. He doesn't want to exist. He hates himself. He said God didn't die for original sin because there supposedly wasn't a Garden of Eden. It's proved in Turkey. Near Turkey. And there is a River of Eden. There is a Garden of Eden on the world map in a country. On a continent. There was the Garden of Eden. And then he says, well, he doesn't think that Jesus, I don't want to say that. I don't think that either. Not either. I meant, hello. And if Jesus couldn't, even if it wasn't for original sin, at least people were thinking he was for original. That he died for that, or for that reason, or was one of the reasons. And when I read it, I read that it was politics. Politics. What if, because they're turning Jesus into a big time idol, that throughout the world, I said some of that, but they usually say God sometimes, and maybe God the Father thinks that's blasphemy, and maybe, what if, I'm trying to talk purely. What if God didn't want Jesus? What if there wasn't no died for your sins? And that's what the guy's saying. This guy is saying, Lisa 1A is saying, and it looks familiar. And they moved in this and this and that, and it was fucking weird because my dad and I were getting upset with the government. He's saying God didn't exist or Jesus didn't exist, and he said, well, then because of that, if he's saying that's your own fault. And I believe that too. The only thing that we could agree on. Be responsible. So not excuse, not excuse. But then you're fucked. Then you're fucked. Now, if somebody hurt me or anybody I cared about, I'm not going to forgive you, and that's my choice. And then I don't think Jesus could forgive me, and God should want to forgive me. But on Easter one time, this tweet of God said, "Suck others on Easter," and it's like, didn't Jesus get crucified? Or anytime you would sin, you'd be hurting Jesus. And supposedly, most good atheists most good ones don't want to hurt anybody. If they're good. Depends on their morals or values or virtues or standards. Yeah, but good will do good and evil will do evil. Or a person of religious faith will do evil if their religion or their faith or their spirituality costs them to. Once again, where's your responsibility? That's what the guy's saying. There's evolution and creationism and evolution. More creationism because of God or something, and more evolution because of God. I'm not going to force something on anybody, but I mean seriously. This guy was totally denying God, totally denying Jesus. I know there's just Jews, so it's like you're literacy. You're not saying. I said I'm saying, and I blocked it. And I typed this thing and I sent it to him. And he said, no, and once again, your mental illness. I don't have a mental illness. That God, that the things that I saw, even since that apartment, these visions were testing me. I blocked this guy because he's rude. He's an asshole. He's an asshole. Big time. God is perfect. Yes, same way because he seems to be in control of things. Or something. Now, what if somebody committed adultery, but the guy didn't know? What if the guy honestly didn't know? Now, I know this one woman is with this one guy, but they might divorce. Or, I don't know. But I still might not want to be with her. But just like, what if there was a woman, and she said, oh, yeah, well, they divorced or they broke up or something. Or, I don't know, And if someone is committing adultery, that's just stupid. And why haven't you divorced? And it's like, you would hope Jesus would forgive you. I mean, if you're sucking dick, if a woman is sucking dick, that's between her and Jesus. Christ. Yeah, sure. But yeah, there are certain things, and I do believe that certain things are not forgivable. Why? And then, like I said before, why would God destroy life? That's not godly. Or things dying. That's not godly. Birds didn't sin. Or what if people got a second chance and they became something else? Now, I don't think a person would become another spirit. Would start anew as a different person, human being, maybe an animal or something. And maybe you deserve a second chance as an animal. And then that animal deserves to live. So like this guy's saying no God, no Jesus, or no God the Father, no creationism, no talking snake. I seen that snake and I whooped its ass. Now you're denying it? Now you're denying it? Why shouldn't animals talk? And I know that I read the snake is clever, and they look clever. So, if I could talk to animals, and God let me talk to animals, if God was let me, and I would say, if there's a certain animal that, I know that it'd be dangerous. I'd say go away. Even if I'm speaking in verbs or something like that. Or if I say something and it goes away. It's because God. Moses because God. Moses was real. You see, Jesus is not real. Is Moses not real? Moses, whatever his last name was. He had last names back then. Moses of Egypt. Moses of Israel. What, Moses of Egypt? I meant Moses of... He was a real person a long time ago. Noah was real. Jesus was real. Some say he moved to India. He had a wife, Magdalene. $2. That's just a side thing. And no God, so that's, and mostly they think, or I think that they don't think, or we see, or hopefully they think about it, maybe thought about it. Why don't you want there to be an afterlife? Or why don't you want life to continue? Why don't you believe in spirits? This life sucks. And Mars will suck too. And why are these some people like aliens? Then why don't you want animals to talk? English. Then on this one tag it said animals and animal, and then this other tag says animals, a fictional character. That tag does not make sense. Animals are real. I blocked this bastard. So I got a threat and I reported it, and I did reports and my dad did reports, and this guy's allowed back on YouTube. But now it's Legion 1A. You're not an angel. You're not a 1A. What's 1A? You're not uno numero uno. Uno. You're not one. And you're the first person or you type of people that I'd kick your ass first if I came back. My green energy, yellow energy. I'd kick your ass. If energies could kick ass. If colors could kick ass. You call me illegitimate. You say you're not saying. You're not legitimate. You're not literate. You only know the basic words. I know better words than you do. And then you copy. You might learn the words because you read words. But you don't think about it. Or most atheists then supposedly don't think more. If you don't think more, then stop saying it just because you don't believe it. Just because you don't believe it. I don't want any more tests. I'm just saying. I had to be careful when I've had this injury for a few years and taking vitamins and minerals and herbs. And then I had to be careful. I'm like regular now. Legion of your mind? Just so you know, supposedly this book says Legion was sane, but you're accusing me of not being sane. I'm sane. So, I blocked you, dude. And because of this voiding stuff, and they knew if something happened to me, God would let me have my vengeance, because I would. So, what else? So you're saying you're not believing in thing, but you or basically it seems that way. Anything, talking snake. Somebody might have heard it and they sensed something maybe because they're defeated. Maybe the snake of Eden died. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it did. It's called harassment. Snake. Yeah, there's other different types of snakes. like there's a snake slayer thing. But those are usually in India or different places. These things are usually in zoos, or like the place I'm in, there are no snakes, and there should never be. Not in the H. So if he's saying there was no talking snake, then why is he having? Look, why did he make videos about snakes? So it's like I said, like I was gonna say, like I thought, because he's clever, and he's trying to deny himself. That snake could have talked to me if that snake wanted to. There is a Garden of Eden, literally. Why would somebody write about something back then? And even in the 1940s or 20s or 30s, that's like King James version. But then, like, if you go back and whenever they had octopus ink or squid ink or octopus ink, and then or quilling ink, feather for ink, the gooses or geese. And they wrote the Bible. Or they had them on whatever they have it on, and then they translated it. Eden was a real place. This is spiritual. This is reality. This is religious defamation. Maybe back then, not in the place I'm at. Yeah, and I saw a ghost of this dog George in life, and I won't say where. Of George, and this woman was wearing a dress, and it's like she was coming from the window, up close to me. Now, for my sake, if this guy eventually did, I wouldn't get married unless if the woman divorces, then she should be penalized too. Because a woman could break up with you just because she wants to. I mean, not just because. Well, maybe. And that's not right. I care about this dog. You're insulting God. I'm not going to talk about Jesus because I am a bit conflicted with when some people say, well, Jesus died for your sins. But we should be careful not to sin. Not to sin. We should try not to sin. And if you didn't have a Jesus, because God the Father did not die for original sin. No. If you didn't have Jesus, then you'd be fucked. And most people do not want to be fucked.